What's up, geeks and gamers? It's Odin, and today, oh boy, do we got some breaking news for you. So if you've been following me on my channel and me on Twitter, you already know about this, but I was talking to Jeremy, and Jeremy's out of town, so he wanted me to make this video for the Geeks and Gamers channel, because obviously Geeks and Gamers channel has just so much more reach than my channel does, but it's also news that I think needs to be covered. And so if you've been following the Rotten Tomatoes scores, you've seen that the overall audience score, the overall audience rating is not very good. This is also very much true on pretty much any site you go to. If you go to IMDb, if you go to Metacritic, the audience scores are tanking. Now, of course, the instant reaction is going to be, oh, well, that's just because it's a bunch of people who are review bombing the film. Now, am I saying that there aren't some people out there that are probably putting out fake reviews? Of course not. Of course that's happening. Again, we live in the age of the internet. We live in the age where, yes, there's going to be people that are going to do silly things, that are going to be stupid things. But if you're going to try and tell me that number equates to 54,000 people, I think that you might be stretching it just a little bit, because that is the number of reviews and ratings that have been deleted from the Rotten Tomatoes website. You heard that right. 54,000 reviews are now, poof, gone, at least from the front website. So as you can see, this is, it's great, guys. Archive.org is just a great website, because what you're able to do is you're actually able to go back in time to websites before they have any major changes. This is how we're able to get the images back up of the want-to-see scores before they eventually shut it down. But this is also how I was able to say, how many did they just delete? Because people were tweeting me saying, hey, guess what, Odin, they're deleting, something fishy is going on over at Rotten Tomatoes. What's going on here? And as you can see, as of earlier today, the rating was at 34%, with user ratings reaching 58,000. 58.5 thousand. Now, when I was on the website earlier, I did notice that they had deleted about 300, and I was like, that's kind of weird. 300 just disappeared, because it was at 58,551, and then it dropped to 58,200, and I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. Maybe they found a bunch of fake accounts. Maybe they were just cleaning, the excess stuff. Maybe, okay, whatever. Every website's going to have its own thing. That's fine. But then all of a sudden, people were saying, Odin, you might want to check it out again, because now, again, this was what it was a few hours ago. This is what it is now. As you can see, the score, 36%. The ratings, 4,296. So you went from 58,000 to 4,000. So over 54,000 reviews have now been scrubbed and have now been deleted. Let me just update it just to see if that's changed. So as you can see, it's still at 4,000 with that 81%. And also, let's have the time. Let's take a little bit of a break to talk about the current score. So 81%, it's still fresh, guys. Yeah, it's still got a failing rating with 68%. 6.84 out of 10. Guess what? That's math. 68%, guys. I'm a teacher. That's a failing grade. If a student has this, they go to summer school. There's no summer school for movies, so guess what that means? Oh man, it's still fresh though, guys, right? And then the average audience rating score is a 2.3 out of 5, which matches up to what my score is, which is a 2.5 out of 5. And the top critics is even worse with 6.27 out of 10. So failing grades all around, and yet, even after deleting over 54,000 reviews, all they were able to do was bring the score up by 2 points. They were able to bring the score up by a measly 2 points. That's all they were able to do. And now some people have been commenting on the video that I made for the channel and on Twitter saying, hey, well, I think what happened was that those were including the interested and not interested scores, and that's why they were being deleted. It just means that they're deleting all of those. Since they're no longer doing that system, it makes sense that they would just purge all of those reviews, right? Here's the problem, and this is why you know that Rotten Tomatoes is just doing these things on the fly, that Rotten Tomatoes honestly doesn't know what the hell it's doing. It's just doing like basically knee-jerk reactions to everything. Because when you pull up the audience scores, guess what you see? Look at this. Nothing else other than the first page are the interested, not interested. Oh, wait a minute. Now that's gone away. Isn't that interesting? Like, seriously, look, this is how buggy the website is. All of those have just gone away. But anyway, as you see here, you see a blank space for some reason. You see a bunch of reviews, which are again going back and forth, but guess what you still see? You still see the want to see ratings. Wait a minute, I thought you couldn't do that anymore. How is that showing up on March 8th? Maybe it was something that got backlogged. Maybe it was something that's from the app, because apparently the Flickster app still had a bunch of these functions available. I think they finally got rid of those on the Flickster app. Maybe it's an old version. I don't know. What this shows, though, is that whoever's running this website, whoever's the designer behind this website is basically just doing things out of nowhere with no explanation. They're even if this is nothing, if this turns out just to be like an error in the system, that for some reason it went from showing 58,000 people to 4,000 people. Again, that's way too big of a number, though, to just be to just happen coincidentally. There has to be something more to it than just that. But the problem is that you don't get rid of them. Like, they still have the actual reviews up. I remember people were pointing this out still when they were saying, oh yeah, they got rid of it, but you can still see the people saying, I have no interest in seeing that. You have a bunch of other people that just left reviews without clicking a star, which tells me that this site is broken. They broke the website. This site is not working because there are certain people that are leaving reviews that cannot leave a star rating. I'm guaranteeing you that these people did not just leave a review and did not click on the star rating. I guarantee you that they did. It's not, it's not keeping track of it. I put my review up hours ago, the same review that's on Letterboxd, the same review that got posted almost immediately on Metacritic, by the way. And yet, all of a sudden, my review still has not posted up. You still have a bunch of blank star ratings, a bunch of 5.5 star ratings, which of course don't really count. So if you're going to review this movie, guys, don't leave the half-star rating. I know that's what you think about it, but leave like a 1.5 or 2-star rating, because guess what? It's still going to show disinterest. Guys, just so y'all know, the number here, the liked it score, this is only based off of people who give it a 3.5 out of 5. Meaning if you put below a 3.5, your number won't count here. Because look, audience score, the percentage of users who have rated this movie a 3.5 out of 5 or higher. Meaning if you give this a 2 or 2.5, this number still goes down. The average rating, the average audience rating might be affected by that, but nothing else. So this is just what's crazy to me, is that Rotten Tomatoes has shown itself not only to have, because now people are actually looking at the system and they're saying to themselves, wait a minute, you're telling me that a critic can give a movie a 50%, a 2 out of 4, a 2.5 out of 5, but still click a fresh button and say, oh, it's a fresh movie. And therefore, look, the tomato meter is going to be fresh, because even though my review was very negative, oh, I pushed the fresh button, so it's fine. You're also telling me that the audience rating also is skewed, because this only accounts for those who leave a 3.5 out of 5. I just, guys, this is just getting to, like, beforehand people were talking about the conspiracies, and I was kind of like, all right, guys, let's be careful. Don't dive into the conspiracy territory unless we can. This is where you're starting to be like, okay, maybe we can start actually diving into it. Because now you have, again, 54,000 reviews just disappearing. Like, just poof. Like, let's go ahead and just, let's refresh it. So this is one of two things, guys. One, it is an honest error. Oh, it just happened, the number just happened to change, which coding-wise just doesn't make any sense. With the very limited knowledge I have of coding, it doesn't make any sense that this would just magically have an error to it unless you're trying to tweak something, unless you're trying to change something, which is why number 2 is the more likely scenario, which is that they're trying to purge a lot of reviews. However, by doing so, the percentage is still there. Now, it could be the case is that they've purged this category, the user ratings, and next to follow will be the actual ratings that were given themselves. Again, as I showed you on this page, this very well could be what they're trying to get at. As I showed you as I was going through the audience reviews, sorry if all this move is going to drive me crazy. The fact that you're having these blank spots, I'm wondering if these are all star ratings that have been deleted. Honestly, I don't know, because this website is broken. This website's broke. The fact that you can still see these movies, or still see the not interested score, the fact that you have an entire page of people with just reviews. Most people are just going to leave a star rating and are not going to leave actual reviews themselves. Like, this doesn't make any sense. This doesn't make any sense at all. So I honestly think it's the latter. I think that it is indeed the fact that they're trying to, once again, censor the fans, censor free speech, and not allow people just to review a movie. Because even when they're doing that, though, what the funny thing is, even though they've deleted 54,000, again, I'll show you the number one more time. It was at 58,000 beforehand. Again, it was at 58,500 beforehand. It's now at 4,000. I would not be surprised if this number takes a giant leap over the next couple hours. Because if they are deleting user ratings, if they are at least deleting them from the calculations, if they're going to maybe do away with this number altogether, which would not surprise me at all, it's a very scary time. And now people was like, oh, you're freaking out, man. It's just Rotten Tomatoes. It's just a movie. Yes, this is true. But you need to understand, there are still a lot of general audience members that use Rotten Tomatoes as a way of determining whether or not they want to see a movie. I'm sorry, like, that's just the way it goes. A lot of people still say, oh, well, the Rotten Tomatoes score isn't very good. And some people, you can mock those people all you want, but guess what? I was one of those people for a long time. I was that person that was like, all right, I'm going to look at the audience score, I'm going to look at the ratings from the critics, and I'm going to make up my own mind. I'm going to, but sometimes if there was a movie that I was like mixed on, because that would happen. There's a lot of movies that sometimes you're like, I don't know. So what do? You go to Rotten Tomatoes and say, oh, okay, so audiences tend to like it, so I guess that I'll probably like it too, so I'll go see it. And so what you see here now is you see Rotten Tomatoes basically playing a political game where they're like, seriously, they changed their entire website to protect this movie, and now they've deleted 54,000 reviews to save this movie. And even after they've done that, it still looks awful. It still looks awful. But anyway, guys, that's the reason why I know that Geeks and Gamers, Jeremy is planning a lot of really cool things for the website, and I cannot wait to see what he's able to do with it. If he's able to create something similar to this, I am all on board to support it. But also, guys, I have my own website too. I've actually created my own website. It just went live yesterday, and it's definitely a work in progress. As you can see, it's very simplistic. It's not as, crazy, and it's not as it's not nearly as well developed as the Geeks and Gamers website, which please go check out geeksandgamers.com because it's awesome and they've got great stuff there. But it's ombreviews.home.blog, and I will try and get this onto the post for this when it goes live on the YouTube page if I can. But seriously, ombreviews.home.blog, and as you can see, it's very simplistic. This is me just explaining my process, what I hope to do with the channel, and then on the side you have movies. Eventually, over time, when there's a lot more movies, you'll have the ability to search for a given movie. Right now, I'm keeping it to recent releases and movies that are coming out in the future. So I just literally added the Shazam page maybe a couple hours ago. And as you can see already, 14 people have said that they have an interest in seeing this movie. This is the reason why I love this site, is because not only can you have an opinion and say, I want to see, I don't want to see. Guess what? You have it. You also can leave comments on all of these posts as well and explain why you want to see it, why you don't want to see it. And then once this movie goes live April 5th, you can also leave a rating. For example, we've got Captain Marvel. Again, 131 people said they don't want to see it. 7 people said they do. Out of 30 votes for this movie, it's got 1.5 stars. And again, if you like the movie, leave a 5-star review, leave a 4-star review. I've explained. If you think it's an A, B, C, D, F, this is the number that you should correspond to. We don't have half stars yet just because, again, I'm working on the system. I know it is imperfect. But then you go to another movie, Alita Battle Angel. A lot of people who have not seen it yet really want to see it. And out of the 45 people, God, it's up to 45 now, who have seen it, 5 stars. So this goes to show you that, again, there is a way to do this. There is a way to allow just the fans to speak their minds. There is a way to do that without trying to silence them. Yeah, even it's just so simple as that. Someone had made the potato meter the other day, and I was supporting that when it was out because it was really fun because they kept the same rates. They kept the same numbers that were available as of the time Rotten Tomatoes shut down the 1 to C percentage rating, and they kept it going, and it was hilarious. And guess what? It didn't really change all that much. It stayed around 26% interest rating out of 50,000 people. But let this place, Geeks and Gamers, let anything that we do in the future, let that be your new safe haven. Like, seriously, that's what I want. I want this to be a safe haven for honest reviews. Again, I'm never going to shill for a movie. Me and Jeremy, we're not the kind of people that are going to go out of our way to get the press pass, to go out of our way. I mean, freaking Jeremy called out Pensacon and got his media credential taken away. Do you honestly think that he or me or anyone else that's associated with this channel or associated with the Fandom Menace or the Fandom Collective really care about, oh my gosh, I can't interview you? Oh my gosh, I can't go see your movie first? I mean, wouldn't that be cool? Absolutely. If I was offered a ticket, I'd say, all right, I'm going to go see it. I want you to know that I'm not going to give you a positive review just because you're letting me see this movie. In fact, I'm going to be very, very honest with this movie. I'm going to be very honest with my thoughts. And if that's something that people want, then great. Reach out to me. Reach out to Geeks and Gamers. Reach out to us. We'll be honest with you. But that is the number one thing here on Geeks and Gamers. That's the number one thing on my channel as well. Be honest. Be straightforward, because that is what's most important. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, smash that like button, give us a thumbs up, give us a subscribe. Go check me out on the Odin's Movie Blog channel. We're growing like crazy. All of this stuff, of course, is helping. But also, guys, go support this website. Seriously, it's growing. You can request movies. You can make sure it's a recent release or something that's coming out in the future. So obviously, of course, already a website. A page for Star Wars Episode 9, which is already at 39 people who say they don't want to see it, 4 for people that do want to see it. And again, you can leave your comments and explain why and interact with people and anything. And also, this site's going to be changing. I plan on trying to create an entirely new system of how you rate movies, trying to break down the objective into the subjective opinion, trying to put them in their proper place. That's kind of like the mindset of where I'm. I don't want to go into too much detail with it because it is something very close to the heart. It's something that me and Freya, my wife, have been working on, and we're very excited about it. So we can't wait to have actually officially release that version. But for now, I'm going to give you a home where you can say, hell yeah, I want to see this movie. Hell no, I don't want to see it. And then once the movie comes out, leave your ratings as well. And guess what, guys? Unlike Rotten Tomatoes, I'm not going to delete 54,000 of them just to protect one freaking movie. That's not going to happen. Even if someone is bombing, even if someone review bombs my website, guess what, guys? I'm still going to leave it up. I'm still going to leave it up because at the end of the day, I believe in free speech. And I believe that you have the ability to express yourself, whatever that well might be. As long as you're not doing harm to another person, that's what it's all about. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a wonderful day. Again, ombreviews.home.blog. I will try and get the link to it in the description, or if at most, probably in the comment section. Go check out the video. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful day. And as always, God bless.